Right guys, welcome to a brand new video on the World Cup 2022 team preview series. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about Costa Rica. Yes, from the North American region or the Central America region. And if you like these sort of World Cup team preview series videos, why not hit the subscribe button and like the video as well, so that you don't miss any of these World Cup team previews coming every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And without further ado, let's get on with the video. So Costa Rica are in the 2022 FIFA World Cup, representing the CONCACAF region, which is the North America, Central America, and the Caribbean region for this World Cup. The nickname of the Costa Rican team is Los Ticos. Ticos is basically a nickname for people from Costa Rica, so they call themselves Los Ticos. A fun fact for you about Costa Rica and the World Cup history: Costa Rica went unbeaten in the 2014 FIFA World Cup quarterfinal one. There were only 3 teams that went unbeaten throughout the 2014 World Cup: Costa Rica, Germany, and Netherlands. So that's some very good company for them as well. Quite unexpected that they topped the group ahead of Uruguay, Italy, and England in that World Cup, undefeated. So very good showing from them, obviously. And Costa Rica has appeared in 5 previous World Cups. They appeared first in 1990 and then 2002 and 2006, poor performances. But in 2014, as we know, the quarterfinal one, and 2018 they were out in the group stage. But now they are back once again. For the very first time, they are doing it in a three-peat. So, can Costa Rica go through? Let's find out how they qualified. So, Costa Rica went through World Cup qualifying in the final round of CONCACAF qualifying, in which Costa Rica began their campaign very poorly, in which they were lagging behind the top teams in the region at the time. Canada, Mexico, USA, and Panama, they were the ones that were really pushing for those 4 spots, hopefully getting into the World Cup. Whereas Costa Rica, they lagged behind, but they replaced their manager. But in the later part of 2021 and throughout the 2022 part of World Cup qualifying, Costa Rica picked up such great form in which they practically went unbeaten for 5-6 games, in which they were able to clinch 4th place, which got them into the Intercontinental Playoff, where they had to play New Zealand. And that was actually the very last qualifying match of the whole World Cup qualifying cycle. And Costa Rica won that match by 1-0 by a man over there, as you can see, Joe Campbell. So Costa Rica became the 32nd and final team going to the 2022 FIFA World Cup. So the manager or the head coach of Costa Rica is Luis Fernando Suarez. No, it is not Luis Suarez, it is Luis Fernando Suarez, who is a manager from Colombia. He was actually the head coach of Ecuador in 2006, where they reached the last 16, and he was the manager of Honduras in the 2014 World Cup, in which they did poorly, Honduras. But now he is the manager of this Costa Rican team, in which they have these star players such as Brian Uriz, Joel Campbell, Keylor Navas, Christian Gamboa, and Juson Bennett as some of their star players for this Costa Rican team. Some players that you may have heard back in 2014, and 1 or 2 quite new ones. So how will Costa Rica expect themselves to be lining up at this World Cup? Well, Costa Rica play in a 4-4-2 formation, in which the 2 left-sided and right-sided midfielder kind of push forward when they are attacking, but they are also there to defend deeply when they are not in possession of the ball. So some of the strengths of this Costa Rican team is their defensive solidity. Throughout the qualifying campaign, they only conceded 8 goals in 15 games, which that's practically a goal every other game. So Costa Rica are really well set up defensively, especially when they have, probably even still one of the best goalkeepers in Cleo Navas as, their first line of defense. And another strength of this Costa Rican team is the experience that the team has. Obviously, from the players you saw earlier, Cleo Navas, they also have Gamboa, Brian Ruiz, Joe Campbell. So some of these players did play in that 2014 World Cup. So with that added experience, this Costa Rican team, who do have a few youngsters coming through the youth system basically, Costa Rica could be able to have that experience, push themselves and go far in this World Cup. Now, some of the weaknesses of this Costa Rican team is their attacking quality. Let's be honest, Costa Rica only scored 14 goals in 15 games, in which they did not score more than 2 goals in a single match throughout qualifying, in which that really hampered part of their chances, especially early on, where they weren't really scoring and were conceding at least a goal, in which they were only picking up one or no points at all throughout the first half of CONCACAF qualifying for the final round. However, another weakness that this Costa Rican team has is they do lose the ball quite easily when they're in possession, which means that they are more likely to be setting themselves up in a more defensive style of play and trying to hit teams on their counter-attack, especially with the teams they're going up against at this World Cup. That might be the way that Costa Rica may have to go about at this World Cup. Speaking of Costa Rica's opponents at this World Cup, they are in Group E of this World Cup, and they will begin their campaign on Wednesday, the 23rd of November at 7 p.m. local time in Qatar against 2010 champions Spain. And then, just a few days later, on Sunday, the 27th of November at 1 p.m. local time, so the first game of that day, will be up against the 2019 Asian Cup finalists, Japan. And then they wrap up their Group E campaign with a match against Germany on Thursday, the 1st of December at 10 p.m. local time. And so this Costa Rican team will have a lot defending, and hopefully they can hit teams and hopefully score a few goals in order to make it out of this very tough group. They did it once in 2014. Can they do it in 2022? So that's it for this team preview of Costa Rica for this upcoming World Cup. Now, if you like any of these videos, why not hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss any of these World Cup team preview updates that are coming out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the next episode will be on the 21st of September, in which we'll be talking about, well, the 2018 finalists, Croatia. So if you want to watch that video on Wednesday, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss an update on that video when it comes out. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one.